Okay, I've got a really nice manual, Smith Corona Super Sterling today. This is a 1969. This is the original color, and this is a great little manual typewriter. This is a good starter typewriter for those of you who want to get serious about writing. This would be a really great place to start. Or if you already do a lot of typing, but you want a more of an affordable manual typewriter to kind of keep on hand as a secondary one, and or it could be your primary as well, then this is a good one as well. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how to use this, then we're going to do a typing demo. So let's get started. It is an all manual typewriter, manual return. Your paper is going to go right in here behind the roller. To set your margins, you have two metal tabs, and you just press and drag to where you would like to set your margins. Now, for the tabs, you have two buttons down here. This is to set it, this is to clear it, and then the tab actually advances you to where your tabs are. Back on the carriage, this is called the carriage. The roller is called the platen or platen. And then you have your roller handles here, and behind them you have two levers, and either one will work, but you just pull that and that releases the carriage. Now you're gonna have to hold on to the carriage while you release it because it's on a drawband, a tension, and it's gonna fly that way if you're not holding to the carriage. This lever on the right side releases this bar down here. It's called the paper release, and so if you were to thread your paper crooked, you would use that to straighten out your paper. Over here, when you hit the return handle, it's going to advance 1, 2, or 3 lines depending on how you have it set. Now when you turn the handle of the roller, you can hear it click. That clicks every half line, and let's say you use ruled paper, or you started a project, you took the paper out and you put it back in and you can't get it to line up right, you need some fine tuning. There's a tiny little lever right here on the left side. You click that down. That releases your roller so that you can do fine adjustments. Just make sure you re-engage that. Okay, I'm going to move this carriage to the left before I open up the top because I don't want to scrape the top with the handle. So I'm going to open this up. Inside, you're going to see your typewriter ribbon. We have a black and a red ribbon. You can do black only, or you can do the two-tone. This handles either one. It uses a universal ribbon, which you can get on our website at jotuntitledtypewriters.com. Now, all of our typewriters, we always put in brand new ribbons. Okay, so the ribbon, this is so important. Please hear me, take notes. You know, it's easy to forget. When you get to the end of the ribbon, you reverse the direction of it because there's a lot of ink in this ribbon. You should be able to reverse the direction of this ribbon literally dozens of times before you need to replace it. And to reverse the direction, it's over here on the left side is a tiny little lever, and it hardly moves, but this reverses the direction of the ribbon. Now, how do you know when to reverse the direction? Well, sometimes the typewriter will kind of just stop, will lock up on you, or the font's going to be really faint, or when you're typing, it types on top of each other. That usually means the ribbon needs to be reversed. And so you reverse that direction, and then it should clear right up. And if it doesn't, then there's probably another issue. But also, when you do replace it, make sure you check that everything's threaded properly because, you know, the ribbon needs to be threaded properly. Okay. LMH, this just determines how hard the bars in there are going to strike your paper. And so this is just personal preference, how dark you want your font to look. Okay, so now let's go ahead and we'll get ready for a typing demo. All right, so you just get your paper and you are going to load it right here behind the roller. And this is your paper guide right over there, and so you can adjust this. Let's say you have a smaller, maybe an envelope or something smaller, then you use the paper guide just to help you thread it through. It also comes in handy when you have a multiple page project. Okay, so you set it there, and then you turn the handle to thread it through, lift up the bar. Okay, and now you can see that my paper is crooked. I always like to go up far enough to make sure my paper is going to be straight. Because if you just start here and you start typing, then you're going to figure out later that, oh, my paper's crooked. Okay, so you release the tension on the right side and line that up and then let it go. So now you're good to go. And I'm going to move my margins in a little bit here for the typing demo. Okay, this is all manual and it's a 1969 Smith Corona Super Sterling. And this has a little bit bigger font. It is probably a 10 CPI, characters per inch. And 2 at once does that. You just pop it down. And I also like to check on typewriters to make sure the backspace work. And this arrow is the backspace. And so since we don't have a delete button, you just backspace and type over. Or you can X and dash through it. Either way, it's just part of typing, and you know what? You just go with the flow. So let's keep typing and let's do the shift lock here. This actually works really well. And I love that the font is super clear and crisp. There's really not any bleed to it. So as far as manuals, this is actually pretty easy to use. I think, and I'm trying to decide if it would be good for kids, because sometimes they have trouble with their tiny fingers pressing down on the manuals. Where am I? Fox. So I think this would actually be good for most kids, maybe not the youngest. So like if you're homeschooling and they're doing reports, this is a good option for you. Because with it not being electric, they can put it wherever it is they're working. I can't talk and type at the same time. All right. Yeah, forgot the fox. Okay, let's try the red here, and then I'll finish my thought. It's got a nice strong bell. And if you ever, you know, when you get to the end of your margin, your typewriter is going to stop, and you just hit margin release, and that releases it, and you can keep going. So, as I said, this is going to be great for even authors. It types really well. It's easy to type. As far as manuals, it's not too difficult to use. Here, I'm going to pull this a little bit closer for you. So it would be a good option for students, homeschooling, college students. The only ones I probably would not recommend this for are the youngest of typers. Those of them maybe who are under 10 might have a little more trouble typing, and you may wonder, what? Kids under 10? Yes, we get a lot of parents who are buying typewriters for their children. So under 10, this might be a little more difficult for their little fingers, and in that case, I do recommend an electric typewriter. But for the Super Sterling, I would say preteen, teen, and up, an excellent choice for a manual typewriter. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.